right. Look at it. I'm right down at the bottom of the screen. I have to sit up like some sort of meerkat. Um. Oh, good grief. How are we all? It's early because I'm gonna watch the Formula One, which starts at 6:30. So, and it doesn't finish till about 10. So I'm going early. And I'm just going to have a little chat about teleportation and whether would you use it? Would you? I've just been having some thoughts about it. So if we think about, if I sit back actually, well, I'll probably go out of focus if I sit back. Anyway, I think everyone can still hear me okay. Yeah. So teleportation has been coming on in leaps and bounds, and we're not quite there yet as far as Star Trek teleportation goes, but we are starting to get there. Because scientists say we can't teleport matter, and that's fine. Because I don't think we need to teleport matter. Because if you think about it, all you need to do is take the state of the atom, the quantized state of the atom, and recreate it. And scientists have already done this. So they've taken the quantized state of an atom and they've teleported it across the room, across a country, and recreated that quantized state in another atom. So that would work. And I think that's kind of how Star Trek works, I think, because they're always talking, if you think about it, they're always talking about things like pattern buffers, always stuck in the buffer, and then when they have transporter accidents, things like we've only got, 20 minutes to get them out the buffer, or we're keeping her alive, we're keeping her in the buffer, so that they're not really keeping anyone anywhere. What they're doing is they're keeping the quantized state of the atoms as they were when they initially stood in the transporter and were dematerialized. And I think what you could do is you could say that dematerialization is just another word for destruction. Because I think what they do is they would read the quantized state of each atom and then put that in the buffer, and the rest of the matter, it doesn't matter what happens to those atoms, because an atom's an atom. An atom of oxygen here is an atom of oxygen there. An atom of hydrogen here is an atom of hydrogen there. And when they're combined to make molecules and things, it's the same there as it is over there. So it really doesn't matter. As long as you get the information read properly and rewritten, then everything should be identical, or should it? Because that's the question that you got to start asking yourself. Because would you use a teleporter if that's what happens? So, for instance, you want to go on holiday. Let's say you want to go to the Caribbean, and you can fly there on a plane. It'll take you 10 hours plus a change of aircraft or something, or maybe not. And then, or you can go on the teleporter, and the teleporter will take you zero time as far as you're aware, because you'll step in and you'll step out, and there's no awareness of travel regardless. Even if you had a 10-hour delay, you wouldn't be aware of it, because ultimately, would you still exist? That's the question. So what's happened is and I mean, let's not undersell this, because we must have billions of atoms in our, in the thing that we call our body. So we must have billions of atoms. So you've got to read the state of every one of them as it is in one moment in time, store that state, transmit that data across to the reassembly teleporter, the other end, which will then rewrite each atom in the state that it was read in. So you would be recreated at the point when you would be recreated from the point of departure to the point of arrival. So in between, you don't exist. They're not transferring your matter stream, they're transferring your information. But once everything's put back together, all the information would be, if all the information's been read right, everything would be spot on. Because there's no room for error there. You know, as long as you've read the information right and the information's written correctly, everything should be identical. But do you think it would be? That's the question. Would you use that? Because if that's the case, right, and when you arrive there you get recreated, effectively recreated, are you still you? Did you have a soul? I don't know. If you had a soul that inhabited your body, and it was a spiritual thing and not a physical thing, how would we read that information? And how would you recreate it, because it doesn't consist of atoms? So, question is, does the soul exist? And if it does, would you lose it if you teleported? A good question, not one we can answer. So, would you use it? Would you use a teleporter on the off chance that if you had a soul, it was gone? Or if it was gone, was it really gone? Or do you think that the meat suit that you currently inhabit is nothing but a receptacle, a receiver of sorts for your consciousness, and your consciousness doesn't exist in this realm. It exists in a different dimension, and it just plays out the parts. So, for instance, to all intents and purposes, you could be effectively an NPC, but you're one that's being controlled by your consciousness, which is in another realm. So effectively, we could be the little guys in Meta that are wandering around with you with the headset on, you know, making the choices. Is that what the soul is? Is that what consciousness is? In which case, if your meat suit gets dematerialized at one end and recreated at the other, and it's done correctly, then your consciousness would just reconnect, or would it? Is there a mechanism of reconnecting to a meat suit that's disappeared? Albeit how temporarily, well, we don't know. Even if it's disappeared for a few minutes or so, could you reconnect to it? Is that what happens when you have a near-death experience? Have you disconnected from your physical corporeal form, and you've gone off into the astral plane, but then you come back? So maybe there's a time factor in reconnection. I don't know. I mean, these are all questions that are more spiritual and esoteric than practical. But the question then comes back to the teleporter type thing. If you could teleport, would you? Would you use it? Is it worth the risk? Is it worth the risk? Any thoughts? If it was safe, maybe, says Beats and Tapes. Well, it's safe and effective, Beats. Safe and effective, wouldn't it? You know? Zap. And boom, boo. Booyah, you're back. Except you're 10,000 miles away. And then, of course, you know, if that's the case, right, and you can do that, say you could teleport, you can read the information, then you can recreate it, and people appear to be fine, right? And I mean, I think you need to do quite a lot of testing, because I don't think you'd want to find out that suddenly people that have been teleported become mad psycho killers, because everything's possible, isn't it? I mean, they might have no empathy at all, and they might lose all inhibition or something like that, you know. So you never know what would happen. So there's always that to check first. But the other thing is, could you then use it? And did they not tamper with this in Star Trek as well? Could you then use it to clone yourself, like Dread says? Would you just be a copy? But does it matter if you're a copy or not? Does it matter? If you have a soul, maybe. But if you get copied, what happens? Does your soul inhabit both copies? Or neither? Are you then a vessel for nefarious, otherworldly beings to inhabit? Or, if it's a consciousness stream, how do you decide which one to connect to if somebody makes two of you? So, say there's a blip and you end up two pops out of the arrival site and you go, uh-oh, we've got a double. They're not meant to be twins. Which one do we get? Which one do we take away? So that is the big question, what happens? But here's an even better question. If you can copy that information and you can rewrite it and recreate at the arrival site, what's to stop you fixing any errors? Because if you've been read previously when you were in 100% health and you then arrive in, poor health, you've got some sort of disease or you've lost an arm, right? What's to stop the arrival site recreating you as you were? So if you wouldn't even need to be going on holiday, maybe hospitals then become, you just nip in for a quick regen. I lost an arm, no biggie. I'll go and get regened and I'm back out with two arms. So there's that. Could it be used for that? Could it be used to fix disease? To stop people, dying. Could it be used to de-age? Well, how could you de-age? Well, if you've been read, say you've been read at 20, right? What's to stop you being recreated at 20? But only for things like your telomeres and cells, but leave the information that was written to your brain as it was when you were 40. So you still have all your memories of living till 40, but you're back in a body of a 20-year-old. Sounds good. Got to be a snag somewhere, though, don't you think? It's interesting. So do you think that would work? Do you think we could do that? Because, it's like we were talking about in the show the other night about the way that humans work on things. Things go along dead slow. They just go along dead slow. And then suddenly somebody makes a couple of breakthroughs and it goes boop, boop, boop. And then it goes whoosh. It just takes off. So they started teleporting and, somebody will crack it at some point and then we'll be able to do plants, fruit, monkeys, humans. Who knows? And yeah, there'll probably be mistakes along the way, but I would imagine they'll have taken many of them out before they start getting down to putting humans through it. And that's the point. Unfortunately for us, it's a bit like time travel, isn't it? Because you can only be read at the age you're at. So if suddenly, if they don't create teleportation for another 20 years and I'm 80 odd, right? Does that mean I can only get read at 80? And I can't be regressed? I could only ever be 80 at best. That would be a bummer, wouldn't it? Whereas somebody that's born, now and gets read at 20 could forever be 20. It's interesting. What would it do for human populations? Would we feel the need to continue to breed? Because effectively, if you could go in and get rewritten, you really wouldn't need to die, would you? If you didn't want to, because you just go in and get rewritten. So I've had this meat suit for 5 or 6 years and it's got a bit tired and got a few knocks on it. Go back, get rewritten. Whoops! Oh, I forgot I wanted my tattoo kit, but hey. No biggie, I can get another one, that kind of thing. Would that work? Would you think that you would take advantage of that if it was available? Because I think the way they use teleportation in Star Trek, I think it's a tiny bit simplistic. I think it would be used a lot more and for a lot of different reasons than they use it in Star Trek. Especially, I mean, they've done things before, like why fire missiles at people when you can teleport bombs to right beside them? You know, why bother firing a torpedo? Just teleport the torpedo right beside them. Boom. So it's. I think it would be quite interesting, and if imagine if bad people got hold of teleporters, and what, how do you restrict people? Well, see, I don't understand how. I can understand how they would read you in Star Trek, for instance, in the because you go into the teleporter room, don't you, and you get read. But how? What's recreating you down on the planet? Because they're beaming you down to a planet that's got nothing on it. So how are they recreating you? Because you can't recreate matter out of thin air. Or can you? Can you? No, I don't think you can. So you'd need some kind of assembly station. So I think what you'd have to do, you'd have to get your spaceship and you'd have to go out to all the planets physically and then build reception stations, on planets or Aruba or whatever, wherever you want to go. If you want to go from London, you have your your departure station in Heathrow, or it wouldn't need to be in Heathrow, but it could be anywhere. But you'll have your departure station, and then you'll have your arrival station. Could it be that the rich would have their own? Well, they probably would, because just now they have a private jet. What's to stop them having a private teleport? I've got a teleporter in my office. I'll just teleport to the Shanghai branch. Boom, there you go, done and dusted. Quite interesting. But then, does it get used for evil as well? Well, probably, because being humans, what do we do? What do we do best? We end up fighting with each other. So probably somebody would use it for bad. But I think overall, on the balance of probabilities, if it worked and you managed to crack it, there's no reason why it wouldn't work for good. But I think the philosophical questions are the ones that need to be answered. Is it still you once you've been destroyed and recreated? Is it really still you, or is it just a meat suit with your memories, which will then form its own, and maybe go on to be destroyed and recreated multiple times? So, are you diluted, or if you have a consciousness that is divorced from the physical entity of the brain, does it just leap from bag to bag? Who knows? It's an interesting concept. I mean, the consciousness as a stream from another dimension, I like the idea of it because it answers many questions, especially if you damage your brain and you can't do things. And you get reports of people that have damaged their brain and they have to rewire it, and they can't do things, but they still thought the same until they've eventually figured out how to speak again or something like that, and then they can communicate much the same way they could before. And what's happening there is it a reception problem? The consciousness is still fine. It's like your TV. If your TV is not picking up the signal properly, it's going to get all blocky and glitchy. Or the stream. If the stream's not picking up a good, strong, bit rate, it's going to get all blocky and everything's going to go all fuzzy and you won't be able to hear things properly. But then it comes back. In fact, what's happening right now? Because I'm being digitized effectively by the camera and then sent as information through the wonders of the internet to your home, where I am recreated, albeit still digitally, but recreated right in front of you as on a screen, whether it be phone, tablet, TV or whatever. But is that recreation that's talking to you right now from that screen, is that me? Is it? Because, well, I think I'm here, but you think I'm there in front of you, and I'm talking to you. Am I? Am I talking to you? Is that me? Or is it a perception of something else? It's getting crazy, isn't it? Anyway, let's have a quick look at the. I'll have a quick look at the chat if you don't mind, chaps. Oh, Alex Cameron, that's a new name. What about if everything is just one big movie and things are meant to happen and it's all just well? Hey, it's very possible, Alex. These things can happen. Med beds. Yep. I like that idea. What else? What else we got? Reprinted you would just be a copy, says Red Eye. Yeah. Well, would it? Would it? And if it was, would it matter? Would it matter? If you had the same memories and, you know, you have to ask your question, if you're religious, are you still the same person? I don't know. Who else can see John's third eye? I don't want you looking at my third eye. Anything is possible on this crazy plane. Yeah, I know you can't get above the surface. I think this is Truman Show. Blah blah blah. I'm living my yep. John's in my house. Yes, I am. Yeah, I am in your house, right in front of you at this very moment, Beats. But am I? And to all intents and purposes, if you went back, I mean, if you went back 200 years, people would be freaking out if you showed them a phone or a tablet and somebody was on there talking to them. Imagine they would be calling you all sorts of things, wouldn't they? You'd be a witch or a warlock or whatever. Alexander says, I believe I'm getting loads of messages in my dreams and talking to myself. I believe these are awakenings that I've been getting lately to be something true, to be your true self. Well, hey, I think in times of stress, people do tend to get more, I think they tend to get more dreams and wilder dreams. I think during COVID, during the lockdowns, a lot of people were reporting that they had, really vivid dreams, and wondered what was going on. And I think it's a stress thing, and maybe it's your brain trying to work things out, or is the dream side the real? Is that the reality, and this is the dream? Because who's to say that this is real and the dream side's not? Because you don't remember everything in the dream side, do you? Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Just like here, some of it's good, some of it's bad. So yeah, I don't know. It's all the big question. Is it reality or is it a simulation? I don't know. I can't. Unfortunately, on these extra carrot rabbit holes, I don't have Ed with me. But even Ed, I think, would be at this point going, I don't know. This is a lot of cases you can't make a determination as to what's happening because you don't have enough information and you don't have enough knowledge of what's going on. And really, what is going on? It's crazy, man, isn't it? Anyway, a wee short one tonight, I think. So. So Ben's away on holiday, and he did his music show last night, which screwed up the streaming for some reason. So I found it very difficult getting the stream started, and that's why it was a bit late, considering it was going early. But hey, these things happen. But anyway, any questions before we toodle off? Anybody else? Good to see you, Alexander. Please come back and stick around if you enjoyed these little treatises. Deep, John. Yeah, well. Sometimes, sometimes when you're thinking about these things, you don't get the chance when it's Ben and I and we're laughing and joking with each other and and telling you about the woes of the world, you don't get the chance to really explore the subject. And when you've got a minute to think about things, excuse me, you get the chance to bring out a little more depth and a little more of how you feel, how you think things are going. In fact, I need to speak to you, Julie and Dreadeye. I may have a proposition for you. Yes, I will be on tomorrow night. I shall be doing it with myself and my bear. Yeah. So, Ben's back on Friday, so we won't see Ben till Friday. Special treat on Thursday. Ed and I are going to do an extra carrot rabbit hole, where we'll come on and we'll do something like this, except we'll just be yakking about, something different, and we'll see how that goes. So yeah, I'll prepare a couple of things, so Ed doesn't need to do anything. He can continue researching his Bohemian, I think it's Bohemian Grove, for the next one. I think that was, well, let's just check while we're here, shall we? Let's just check and see where we're going. Let's see. Hold on, people. Where are the community? Right, let's have a look. It's Bohemian Grove, 64% to 36. So we're going to be doing Bohemian Grove next. So that will be a week on Thursday. So this Thursday, Ed and I will be on doing an extra carrots, and then we'll be doing Bohemian Grove the week after, and other secret societies, because we don't want to limit ourselves to one. Right. Got the trunk back, John. The trunk back? The truck. Maybe the truck. Yes, I have. The Jizzing Descent van is back. It's back, baby. And I did offer Lord, what's his name? He had an interview with Count Dankula yesterday, and I said I would transport him wherever he wanted to go, within reason, for an interview in the Chasing Descent truck. But, hey, he hasn't come back to me. So if anybody's got, is it Lord Miles? The guy that was under the care of the Taliban, I believe. So, but yeah. So anyway, I think that'll do us for this evening, and I appreciate you all coming along and spending half an hour or so with me. It's been good. It's been good for me. I think it's been an interesting thing to get off my chest. I was just thinking about it the other day. I thought, teleportation, that's an odd thing, and I'm surprised Musk hasn't really thought about it. Why hasn't he delved into that? Because why spend your money buying some stupid social media platform when you could be funding research into something that could do real good? Not just sticking chips in people's brains. Don't want to do that. Anyway, it's been good for me, but it's been great for you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say, yeah, I'ma do shit my way, so you can go kick rocks. I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.